sir. Good morning. Give me 1 minute until the live stream starts with YouTube. And done. Shalom, shalom. This is Gidon Ariel, and here we are with my good friend, Pastor. I almost called you Rabbi Alan Latta.
Oh, I wish. Shalom Aleichem, Gidon. I'm sitting in our foyer that's not real cool right now because I wanted the Israel flag behind me. So it's kind of blurry because it's focused on my big face, but you see it over my head.
Now that you mention it, yes, but why do you have to blur it?
I don't blur it. How do I do that?
You have to unblur. You go to video. Next to video, there's an arrow. Next to arrow, unclick blur my background.
There it is. That's,
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I think I've been in your area here with all those flags.
yeah,
How are you?
I don't need the ring light on me. I'm fine. How are you? You spending bomb shelter time daily, nightly?
I guess so. Listen, uh, my family lives in like the middle of nowhere. You guys from Texas, you're familiar with that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And so there are, how do they call it? More quality targets than our community, certainly our house.
Okay.
That being said, the way that it works here, or the way that it's been working for the past few days, who knows how long, much longer, I think we're quite nimble. We have no choice but to be nimble and change go with the flow.
Yes, sir.
We're very smart people, but their responsibility is to figure out how to make it safest for us without interrupting and interfering with our life interrupting as little as possible.
Yes.
So they figured out, and then again, it's not safest for whom. In other words, some things will be too interruptive for the part of the population, but it'll be too dangerous if you don't do it for the other part of the population. For example, this is more than just an example. This is what happened. They would put the alarm, sound the siren, and then you had like a minute and a half to get into your sealed room or something like that. So if you live in an apartment like I do that has a sealed room, a security room, or whatever it's called, a safe room, there, like this is my bedroom, and across the hall is the safe room. So it's not such a big deal for anybody in my family. But let's say that you don't have a safe room in your apartment because your apartment was built before, I don't know, 2000 or 1998, or I don't know when it was, when the law was made that when you build a house, you have to, or an apartment, you have to have a sealed room as part of it, a safe room as part of it. Yes. I
Okay.
call it the sealed room because not only Iran tried to kill us, but Iraq also. Back in 1990, we were worried that they were going to shoot chemical rockets at us. So we put a room that had saran wrap around the windows. That's how we saved ourselves and protected ourselves
From
from
past.
potential death with saran wrap. It's great.
Millimeter of safety.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people became religious. They said, "Wait a second, this is what I'm putting my trust in." Saran wrap. I'm going to put my trust in God. Anyway, so we
Yes.
called it the sealed room because we would seal up the room. But anyway,
Oh,
it's a safe room. In Hebrew, we call it a mamad.
okay.
But not everybody has a room like that, so they have to go to a public shelter. And that could be like a 5 or a 10-minute walk away.
Yes.
And let's say you are an invalid or an elderly person that you walk slowly, or you're in a wheelchair or something like that. So you need even more time. So they decided that as soon as they noticed that the Iranians were trying to shoot something, then they would make a kind of an alarm, sort of like an Amber Alert on your phone.
Yes.
And so everybody got that. So very quickly we realized, we don't have to get too worried about this because A, the chance that we're going to get hit at all is slow. And B, and if we do get hit, we got plenty of time. We've got like a 10, 15 minutes. So we don't have to. The alert says you might be getting a real alert. So it might be a good idea for you to get closer to your safe space.
Okay.
So we got something like that. We got something like that last night, I think at about 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the middle of the night. So I woke up from it. My wife woke up from it. From nobody else in our family woke up from it. And then about 10, 15 minutes later, my wife has an application where she can see not where the bombs are falling. People, you probably saw those maps of Israel with all those red dots on them.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Those are not where the missiles are falling. Those are where the what's it called, the home front command has decided to sound a serious siren, saying
Oh,
that you better get in. And why? Not because you are going to suffer a direct hit. There's a very small chance of you suffering a direct hit, but it's possible that if the missile is intercepted, which most of them are, then the debris might fall on you.
yes.
Well, so that might even happen in our area, but it's a very small chance. So they often do not sound the siren in our community. Anyway, I'm talking about this like, how to learn how to drive or something like that. It's not such a big deal over here.
So the red dots are where the alarms are going off.
Exactly.
Okay.
And ultimately, from time to time, I mean, this is, for some reason, this is serious. These Iranians, more serious than the Houthis or I don't know who. And sometimes the anti-missile interceptors do not succeed, and so the missile falls somewhere, and sometimes it falls on a house, as we've seen.
Okay.
But incredibly, most of the time, only one time, every time except for once, if you were in your safe room, then you were safe.
Okay.
Once a missile hit a safe room.
Wow.
The safe room is like this. I mean, think of it like one of those bunker busters hitting something that doesn't have a chance. So this isn't a bunker buster, but it's still pretty hard. And if it hits you a direct hit, then you're a goner no matter what. But we still have fewer fatalities than most weeks of traffic accidents.
Okay.
So we're managing. What can I say?
Yeah.
But we're mostly managing, I think, with the prayers of our good friends abroad.
Yes.
I'll bet that you and your
Oh,
church
yeah.
services, you mentioned what's going on
Yeah.
in the Middle East, and I'm sure that, I mean, I'm sure it's on the top of the news. I mean, for God's sakes, when
Oh, yeah.
when Trump hit Iran with bunker busters, then that was the top news here. We all went out and danced and praised the Lord.
Yeah. They sent
It's really incredible.
five B-2s to the west as a decoy, and then secretly sent seven to the east with 14 of those things that penetrate. They use kinetic energy before they go off. So they penetrate 200 feet of concrete before they go off.
That's
So
amazing.
crazy. Yes, man.
We
Well,
think we think that we think that Trump should get strangely enough, the Nobel Peace Prize for engaging in battle. But
yeah.
he created peace. But who cares? I mean, Bemet. I guess when you're Trump and you already have tasted everything, then you want to finish off with a Nobel Peace Prize. But I mean, for God's sakes,
Yeah, he
look
won.
at some of the people who won that Peace Prize. Arafat won the Peace Prize. You need to
Yeah,
be in the same hall as him.
yeah. Arafat the Egyptian.
Yeah,
Yes,
him too. Yeah.
sure. Well,
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what's going on in Granbury.
Oh, it's just summer's here. It's getting warm. Fourth of July preparations are in place, yet we still have wildflowers. So the dilemma is, do they mow the highway before the parade or wait till the flowers die? Yeah, so it's small potatoes compared to what you guys are facing.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, my two or three of my children out of five of my children are here with us this week
Okay,
because they don't really have safe rooms in their own apartments.
okay,
And they got kids. I mean, my youngest, she doesn't have any kids, but she's bored at home. And again, what would she have to do? She'd have to go upstairs to her to the person who owns her apartments, her landlord.
okay,
And she's not interested in doing that. So she comes to us and she sleeps by us. She lives about a 20 minutes drive away from here anyway.
okay. She's still
And
in.
her husband isn't at home, so she's got nothing to be at home for.
Okay.
Her husband is in the army.
Oh man.
Yeah, so she tries to go over to him whenever she gets a chance. He's in a commando unit. So he's waiting for the real important stuff to do, not just the simple stuff to do. So he's waiting.
Yes.
And my other two kids, my middle daughter and my younger son, they live about 40 and 20 minutes from here each. And they also don't live in a house with a safe room. So they all come over here. We got like six bedrooms over here for that was the plan. So when they grow up,
Okay.
they would come back with all their kids. So now we got six grandkids. And it's yelling and screaming all day long. The kids are the oldest is I think five or six.
Oh man. No, they're wonderful. The
Yeah,
same joy as your own kids, but without all that responsibility on your shoulders.
yeah. My responsibility is to wash the dishes from time to time. All day long they're cooking and baking and stuff like that. So I say, Abba, can you come down and wash the dishes? So I go and I spend 20 minutes washing the dishes. Luckily, I like doing that.
So they call you.
And I help out with the laundry a little bit, but mostly I'm over here on my Zoom upstairs.
So they call you Abba.
Anyway, pardon me?
They call you Abba. Abba.
Well, my kids called me Abba,
Abba.
and my grandkids call me Saba,
Saba. Okay.
which is what a grandfather is, Saba.
Saba. Okay.
I don't remember if let me just take a quick peek. No, because Abba, both Abba and Saba are are Aramaic words.
Okay.
So the word Av is father. The word Av appears in the Bible. Oh my goodness! Want to care to guess how many times the word Abba or father appears in the Bible? I'm talking about the Old Testament.
Oh, a
Want to guess?
thousand times?
Good guess. 1,215 times it
My
seems.
goodness. So Abba's father, Abba, is like dad. It becomes daddy. It's endearing to add the ba to it, or
Again, it comes from Aramaic. It means the father, I think.
okay.
An
Okay.
aleph at the end of the word is like a hey at the beginning of the word in Hebrew. So it's
Okay.
ha'av is ab.
So it's more formal.
And let's see if we got. Yeah, I guess so, but it is what it is. Let's
So
see if we've got something like a sav over here. 1 second.
so a sabra is someone born in the land, right?
Yes, but that has nothing. Good guess, but that has nothing to do with the word saba.
Okay.
It has a hey at the end. It's a regular Hebrew word, and it's a kind of a fruit.
Yes. Okay. So you are a saba to six sabras.
Exactly. So we get a saba. No, that's not it. Interesting. The Hebrew word saba or the root samech bet aleph, which I would guess is saba, is actually has to do with being drunk.
Oh, forget your sorrows.
Zolel v'soveh. You ever heard of the wayward son? I'm not talking about the one in the New Testament, the prodigal son. I'm
Yeah.
talking about the one in the book of Deuteronomy. If a couple has a son who doesn't listen to their what they say, and he eats a lot of meat and he drinks a lot of wine, you ever heard that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So it's a short passage, like maybe five sentences. Let me let's say Kaf Aleph. We're in Kaf Aleph, I think 20. 1 second. If there should be if a man should have a son who is so rare, he doesn't pay it, he doesn't follow instructions, he goes against the instructions. So rare or more, it's this is the only time that these words are used in this framework, this context. So it's not very clear. The word moreh, you might even know it means teacher, one of the most basic Hebrew words that you learn. But here it's not that saying that if he has a son who's a teacher. Moreh, it probably comes from mored, which means revolting, somebody who revolts.
Okay.
He doesn't. If a person should have such a son who doesn't listen to his father's voice or his mother's voice, so they try to punish him, but he doesn't listen to them. So they should take him, both his father and his mother, and they brought him to the elders of the city in the gate of where they live. And they said to the elders of the city, "This son of ours, he is a wayward and revolting person. He doesn't listen to our voice, and he also eats like a hog and he drinks like a drunkard." And so what happens? The entire all the population, all the people of their city will stone him with stones, and he will die, and you will eradicate the evil from within you, and all of Israel will hear about that, and they will fear, and they will be in awe.
Yes.
So this is one of the most famous, I don't know, most famous, but one of the most shocking passages in the Bible.
Yes.
I have grandkids here. They're like 4 years old. Believe me, they don't listen to me. So what? I'm going to bring him to my to the judge, and he's going to kill him? No, no, no. And as a matter of fact, the oral law, the oral Torah says this can only be if somebody's during that half year between he just had his bar mitzvah and is a half year later, or something like that.
Okay.
And various other rules that they come to the conclusion that it's impossible for there to be such a Ben Surah Moreh, such a wayward son to actually happen.
So you have 12 years to work on the kid to not be that way when he has his bar mitzvah.
Pretty much, pretty much.
Yes.
Anyway, that is that. But so that is the root of Samech Bet Aleph. Let me see. That's it. Wait a second. Maybe did you stop? No, nothing. So a grandfather, the concept of grandfather doesn't seem to exist in the Bible. The concept obviously exists,
Yes.
but there's no word for it.
Still the father.
So for that, I don't have. Is that my dictionary? Let me see if I have a dictionary here. No, I'm not going to bother. Yeah, yeah, I do. No, I brought it downstairs. Too bad.
You got,
Anyway,
you got one on your
so I have
laptop.
the Saba, huh?
You got one on your laptop, right? Dictionary?
Yeah, but it's not as good as let me quit. It's not the one that I want to look up. Okay, one Saba or let's see if we can. It doesn't here, one second. This is the website of the Academy of the Hebrew Language. If I can find it. Let's see if it opens. And this page talks about, oh yeah, I was afraid of this. Saba and Savta.
Safta is grandma.
Let me see if I can find this. Doesn't really talk about it as much.
What is mother?
Mother is Ima, also with an aleph at the end. It's Aim.
Okay.
So
Aim.
that I put that book back already. Where did I put it? Up there. One second here. Saba, Aramit. Doesn't this is not the book that I need. I'm looking for the root, the source where it first started being used. Anyway, mother, how many times does the word mother appear in the Bible? Let's see. Second. One second. I want to stop sharing. One second. Okay, I think I found it. No, that's im. It looks like the word aim, which means mother. Yes. How many times? No, you did a pretty good job of guessing the last time. How many times did that appear in the Bible, do you think?
900? More?
You're too, you're too modernly
Oh,
feminist.
500.
Only about 220 times.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
It'd be
Yes.
interesting to look at to do a little study on mother and father in the Bible with all those times and how the Bible relates to mothers and fathers through the keyhole, the peephole of the actual times that they are used. The words are used.
Yes. Okay.
We'll look into it.
So but grandmother is Softa.
That's right.
Okay. Abba, Saba, Softa. Okay, I'm learning
Aim.
something through
It's
today.
actually aim.
Aim.
It's aim, Ima,
Ima?
Savta. Forget it. There's no way that it's in the Bible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Zeo, so so part of most I think again, I get my worldview from my WhatsApp friends, right?
Okay.
And my WhatsApp friends are all supporters of Netanyahu and are getting the news that they get and aren't getting the news that they don't get, whether it's news or not.
Yes.
And we think that things are going great. And I think that we're getting close to the assassination of the heads of the Iranian state by Israel. I'm not saying that I know this is happening, but that's what I'm guessing is going to happen. And I think that the Iranian state will be overthrown and be taken over by the opposition to the Ayatollahs, who many of them have been in exile for decades and decades.
Okay.
And I think that very quickly there will be peace between Iran and Israel, as there had been before the Ayatollahs came around. Even
Okay.
better.
Okay.
And I think that that means that I mean Hamas is going to have they're going to have no lifeblood.
Yes.
It's sir, I'm extremely optimistic. I've been just like Netanyahu. I've been keeping my eye on Iran for decades, and I'm saying that's all that matters. And if we succeed, to that about, if we succeed, and there's no more Iran, then there's nothing left but peace. Pretty much. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, they're
I'm extremely optimistic.
the chief promoter of terrorism, I think.
Exactly.
Yes. So do you think some of the denouncers are talking out of both sides of their mouth for political expediency?
Did you say some of the announcers?
Denouncers. Denouncers. Oh, America should not have done that. Meanwhile, they're glad.
Oh, only it's only it's not only, but it's primarily political.
Yeah.
The anti-Trump and the anti-Netanyahu crowd is so used to doing that they can't think of anything else.
Yes.
So here in Israel, it's a lot harder to be an anti-Netanyahu guy when Netanyahu just destroyed the the threat that has been the major threat that everybody recognized for the past 40 years, 50 years almost.
Yes.
So that's incredible. Trump is a little different story. People might say, well, a lot of people, unfortunately, a lot of people don't really understand how important Israel is in the United States, and they don't really feel the threat of an atomic of a nuclear Iran. So they might say, why did we need this? But then again, they probably aren't even people like that. You know, they're what do they call them? They're knuckle draggers. They don't even watch the news at all.
I don't know the name of the vice president. It's crazy.
Exactly.
Well, now is the time to do it. While Trump is in office, Netanyahu is in office, he made his move. It would never be a better time in history till it's too late. So,
That's
did,
right. And that's what it looks like it's going to happen. That's
did
what
you
it looks
see
like.
the picture of the Iranian countdown clock? They had a place
I
called
didn't see
Palestine
I
Square. Countdown clock
the
counting down to 2040 to the destruction of Israel. So that clock's been greatly damaged. So, yeah.
oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
They
I'll
were
see.
saying, well, we're going to destroy Israel, or we're going to destroy your clock.
Yeah, so I'll see. I'll see if I can send that to you on WhatsApp. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Anyway, that's it. We're just very excited over here. As far as Root Source is concerned, I've told you about the Holocaust books that we're writing, yes, that we're publishing. Oh
No, tell me. Tell me again.
my goodness, just one second. Let me close the door here. My I met a Holocaust survivor, and to make a very short a story, not a very long story, but I'm going to make it very short. He told me that he had written up a an autobiography about 10 years ago, but only in Hebrew. So my idea was to publish that in English, to translate it and to publish it. So I ran a fundraising campaign, and about I think 30 mostly Christians said, "Yes, I'd love to adopt this Holocaust survivor." And now, hopefully, within a few weeks, we're going to publish it and give it to him. He's 95 years old,
Okay. That's wonderful.
and so now, my next plan is to publish 100 such autobiographies
Okay.
to get churches or synagogues or organizations or individuals with their circle of friends to each sponsor such a translation or such an interview, and hopefully we'll be able each one costs about $7,000, But when you think about it, if you have a church with 100 members, you say, listen, our church is going to sponsor this Holocaust survivor. If we don't sponsor it, then nobody, and if nobody sponsors this guy's autobiography, then there's not going to be an autobiography. It's going to be lost to the ages.
So are these interviews videoed?
So some of them are, but mostly there are videos of you remember what's his name? Steven Spielberg. He
Okay.
had a program to videotape interviews of I think thousands
Oh, I was
of
unaware.
Holocaust survivors. But
Okay.
again, if they were in English, they're only in English. If they were in Hebrew, they're only in Hebrew.
Right.
Some might have probably been Russian. My plan here is to make them as a book. If we can videotape the individual, then we will include a QR code for people who buy the book. The Spielberg Foundation doesn't seem to be very into allowing people to watch those videos. My own father of blessed memory was a Holocaust survivor, and he was interviewed by the Spielberg Foundation. But they said you're only allowed to watch it if you're a family member.
Huh.
Did you ever?
Interesting. Well, this is brilliant. Wow.
I'm going to send you a link to the campaign, and I hope that you will be willing to be the first team leader to sign up. Obviously, you're not committing, but if you think that you could gather from your church's population, from your congregation, obviously it doesn't have to be 100 people. If you think that somebody's going to give $500 or something like that towards that, or maybe your church even has money that they can put in. I have no idea. It's up to you.
Okay. Well, thank you.
We'll see what we can do. That would be wonderful if you guys would be the first ones. That would be great. I haven't really launched the campaign yet because I want to what they call prime the pump. I want to see it show a few people because ultimately I'm going to want to see 100 such team leaders on this website.
Okay. So are
So we'll
you the
see.
one interviewing?
So in it right now, the person that I published, I did a little bit of an interview with him. He already, like I said, he already published it 10 years ago, but I knew him and I met him, so I did a little bit more interviewing. The next one to be published, Bezrat Hashem, will be my own father's autobiography.
Okay.
So I can't interview him anymore. He's been dead for the past, I think, 10 or 15 years. So, but otherwise, we'll see. At this point, I'm gonna have to see if who I'm going to interview. I'm gonna hopefully do this as a project in cooperation with organizations that have access to Holocaust survivors. So we'll see what happens. There's one organization that they are primarily engaging with Israeli Holocaust survivors who made Aliyah from Russia. So they don't speak English at all, and they barely speak Hebrew. They only speak Russian. Now, I don't speak Russian. So they'll have to do the interviewing. But to translate from Russian to English, that's not a problem. But we'll
Yes.
see how it works.
Okay. How good is the translation like Google Translate?
I found that Google Translate, I remember when Google first came out with their Google Translate, it was not good. Then all of a sudden, obviously, they came up with a new version of their software. It became much better, but it's still not so good. I have found there are plenty of these AI translators. The one
Yes.
that I found really to be best at this point is Chat GPT.
Okay.
Just to say,
Yeah.
usually I volunteer with a few different organizations to translate things, not books, like posts or something like that, or messages. And I don't spend the time translating it myself. I first let the Chat GPT do the heavy lifting, and then I review it and I say nothing to add here.
Just fact check it, and yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
comedian. It's the most popular one right now that it's the one I hear the most about. ChatGPT.
Oh yeah. It's probably twice as popular as the next most popular one, whatever that is.
It's so fast, it's scary.
Anyway, so that's that. I will send you that link, and you, Bezrat Hashem, will try to uh, create a team for what is it called? Generations? Is that the
Generation
name of your church?
Generations Church of Granbury.
Oh,
Yes.
Granbury. Oh, I'm so excited. You're even gonna beat out Trey Graham up in First Melissa.
Oh,
We'll see. Tov, my friend, we'll see you soon.
okay. Thank you so much. Enjoyed this.